الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء أما بعد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. This is a day for us to show gratitude to Allah Azza wa Jal, and as believers every day we need to show gratitude and be grateful to Allah Azza wa Jal. But all that we are observing is a product of the execution of gratitude. Alhamdulillah, when we finished with the construction of the National Mosque and we went to Turkey to at least thank them, the chairman of the Executive Council, Na Andani, said that they can't do all these things to us and we just sit down here and we don't go to that place to thank them. And I can say it was as a result of that particular journey that we embarked on to thank them for the sake of Allah, that Allah Azza wa Jal, as He took upon Himself and keeps to take upon Himself in the Quran, that La azidannakum, I myself will get you increased. When we went to show our gratitude, indeed Allah has gotten us increased by giving us this particular noble office. First of all, I am here once again to one by one thank everybody who has been instrumental to my current position and my success in life. By the end of 1997, I had concluded that I was not going to school again. My mom had called me, told me that you are 5 children, your father is no longer alive. I've taken care of you for you to finish with secondary school, and for that matter, it is enough. Let the other children also continue with their education. And I gladly accepted that one. But I promised my chemistry master that at least I will do pharmacy. And I said the journey is too long. Let me allow my mom to continue. But then I should farm to see if I will get something small, at least to go to technical school to do HND. And indeed, I started the farming. And anytime the Turkish people ask me, how did you come to Turkey? I always tell them this story, but I've never told it to the Ghanaians. One day, on the field, farming, I gave a break and I performed ablution and I prayed Zuhur. After the prayers, I raised up my hand to pray. But then all of a sudden it looked like everything was off. There was nothing for me to request from Allah Azza wa Jal. So my hand got stuck over there. But all of a sudden I heard the sound of a flying aeroplane that looked like a bird. High up there. Then I told Allah, if we were not able to school in Ghana, can there be a way for us to also be in such smaller creatures of yours and go to somewhere to learn? Subhanallah. Then I said, Allah, if all gates are closed, you would know how to let me have this my education. On that same day, I returned home, and that time there was no means of communication. It was the telecommunication centers. And I had a message that somebody had called to speak to me. So I was wondering, who actually knew me to speak to me at that particular time? And subhanallah, when I went to receive the call, it was somebody who is now fully my father, called Alhaji Star. At-Takbir. Alhaji Kada Suganeka.
At-Takbir is the former chairman of the Heart Agents Association of Ghana. Alhaji Star, bless you.
Now my father Alhaji Star, he had a young boy, Tajuddin, and as a GIMSA president, I observed keenly those who had challenges and then I tried to help them. The boy had problems and challenges in physics and I had to help him, and when he returned from Hajj, he took me to go and then greet the father and he thanked me with Quran. So for long, when he hadn't heard from me, he asked the boy, where is that your friend? Said he had stopped schooling after SS, he couldn't continue, but he's in the village, farming. He said, do you have his results? He showed my results to him and said, no, I need him immediately. So they looked for my number and he called me. From Yeji that I should come to Accra immediately. Now, to cut story short, I told my mom and we prepared and I came to Accra and he sent me to the blessed memory Guadamoshi to receive a scholarship. I told him that, look, we had closed the application, said, look, this is my son. I want you to let him apply. And then he made me apply for the scholarship. We came for exams, interview, and alhamdulillah, 1998, among the 11 students that were chosen to go to Turkey, I was one of them at Takbir. So he laid the foundation. But then before him, how did I get to what? Tamale Senior High School. My father and my grandfather absolutely said that nobody will go to school. Nobody among the family will go to school. The one who was able to step in classroom just for some months, and he was removed forcefully from that classroom and sent to Karachi to Hajj Umar over there to learn, was one of my junior fathers, Malan Jibril. He was the only one who stepped in classroom, and my grandfather said, no, removed him again, sent him to Karachi to go and learn. So my father said nobody went to school, not only going to school, the notion that when you go to school you lose your religion, my grandfather had that one. And for that matter, they couldn't school. And my father took it upon himself, the same thing, that none of us will school. And until he passed on, we couldn't what? Go to school. I quite remember when he prepared me to send me to Burkina Faso for me to learn the Quran, and then my junior father was struggling with him, my mom was struggling with, they had to go to the Mosi chiefs and the Zongo chiefs for them to sit down and talk to my father and say, leave him here, there is Makaranta here, he can do the Makaranta and go to school. And alhamdulillah, he succeeded in convincing my father. Not even a year, then my father passed on. So my uncles took over my education, brought me to Yinehini, that is Uncle Abu. They took me to Yinehini, he and his junior brother, Uncle Babs, Dr. Harun is also here. They helped to nurture me to go through JHS. After JHS, getting scholarship to Tamale Senior High School, I went there to further my education. That was when I met with Alaji Star, and on I went to Turkey. But the seed and the foundation of this particular position, that is the ambassadorial position. The first day we stepped in Turkey and we met so many people in Turkey, on our return, then Chief Dr. Alasan Andani told me that I will surely make you the ambassador of Ghana to Turkey. And today he has fulfilled his promise. So he told me that whatever be the case, inshallah, I will make you the ambassador to Turkey. When he started to take the blessings of our elders, I needed to get permission from the two Usmans. So first of all, I went to Sheikh Usman Nuh Sharub too, and when I told him, all that he said was Gabadia Machena. Then he promised me that he will write to the president and then ensure that the letter will be delivered to him directly. After he wrote the letter and called somebody to send it, then he stopped and paused and said, no, I want to give it to him myself. Alhamdulillah, and he delivered to him himself. May Allah Azza wa Jal bless him. And I'm sure the media couldn't capture that one. I consistently told the Foreign Affairs Protocol Department that the National Chief Imam himself will be coming. So those who will be following me to come and take my appointment from the president will be National Chief Imam himself. But I'm sure protocol arrangements were not made properly. But when he entered, especially when we're going to take the picture, the chair on which the president himself sat down, he got up and gave our old man, His Eminence, the National Chief Imam. So the chair on which he sat to take the picture was actually the one the president of the nation was sitting on. Then I proceeded to Turkey to also tell the second Usman, Sheikh Usman Nuri Tobash. And when I told him, he kept quiet for a moment and looked at me. And he said, my son, had it been any other country, I would have told you that no. Looking at what you are doing for the Ummah, I would have definitely said no. But this is Ghana and Turkey. And because it is Ghana and Turkey, I give you my blessings. May Allah Azza wa Jal bless all these personalities, and then my main community that I grew from, that particular community, Yeji. May Allah Azza wa Jal bless them, and all the elders that have come from that place to this place. All our elders over here. In fact, if I'm to go through short experience of all the personalities I see over here, all of you are so important. You had one way or the other been mentors. I had listened and observed and admired one way or the other some of your movement, and wallahi benefited a lot from what? All your movement. May Allah Azza wa Jal bless you for coming, and may Allah Azza wa Jal bless you for the time that you have given to me today and making me proud. When Chief was speaking, he said I needed only one thing from you people, and that thing is prayers. Always, please pray for me. If you listen to the president, when they were giving us the orientation, he gave us, for the first time in the history of Ghana, key performance indicators, KPI. It's more than 500, 600 pages. That each ambassador, now ambassadorial position is not a position for you to go for holiday, no. There are several things, and on only Turkey, if you look at the KPI, specifically mentioning institutions and things that you need to do, indeed, it's a great responsibility. Without your prayers, achieving it will be very difficult. So I need your prayers. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
Shall we give it to him again? Now,